Okay, welcome to Comfort Eric number 2. We're gonna talk about Beast Wars and Beast Machines. So, how rude, right? Sorry. If you watched the other video, you'll know I'm devouring the popcorn. Okay, my stomach's gonna hurt tonight. I have mad questions, and I need people who are roughly either my age or younger, maybe 10 years at best, to explain a few things to me about early 2000s Beast Wars and Beast Machines. Okay? So, outside of the comic, so I'm pretty sure the Beast Wars and Beast Machines that I watch is probably IDW versus being Marvel. So, putting that aside, there was a Beast Wars that was Marvel, but I don't think this cartoon remotely resembles it. I know they did it as toys, but I don't remember them doing it as a cartoon until the digital one like Reboot came out. Now, in that cartoon, first and foremost, this is a question that you Transformers fans need to answer for me. How do Transformers shrink and grow when they transform? I know what you're thinking. The first thing that just came across your head was, what? Prime example. Okay? I'm going to name a couple of Transformers, and that should make you think about it. First, the Decepticon turns to the camera. The three of them turn to the camera. When they transform into robot mode, they're over 8 feet tall. Just like most of the Autobots and stuff like that. Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, who are like maybe 8 or 9 feet tall. But Optimus is clearly like 15 feet tall or whatever. Same with Megatron. But Megatron shrinks to 2 sizes. He shrinks to the size of a gun for the Decepticon to hold. And he shrunk to the size of a gun where a human could hold. This is before he became Galvatron and before Cobra Commander turned him back into a tank. Before IDW. Second one, after Megatron and the cameras, is Soundwave. The one with the tapes. How does he shrink to the size of a human-held tape recorder? Along with Ravage, Frenzy, Rumble, Laserbeak, Ratbat. They shrink to the size of tapes. Smaller than this. Like literal cassette tapes. How are they able to do that? Because I know it's more than meets the eye. But no one's ever explained. Do they have like a growing ray inside them or a shrinking clog? Well, the cartoon never explained it in the 80s. It never explained it. But after it can become a boombox, which is roughly the size of that TV. Soundwave becomes a cannon. Shockwave becomes a cannon. Soundwave becomes a tape recorder. I say, who else goes small? Rumble and Frenzy, when they transform, they're the size of human beings. I know the Headmasters and Power Masters are the size of human beings because their weapons and the heads of certain Transformers return into people who change into robots with the robots. But how? How do the Transformers shrink? Or grow? With the exception of like Autobot City and shit like that. I'm sorry for being rude, eating in your faces and shit. Okay. I'm gonna leave that alone now. And we're gonna go to Beast Wars now. My memory's a little bit bad, so bear with me. And we know they go back to prehistoric Earth. We don't know how they made time travel. But they do. This will also go back to the shrink ray. Okay? Or how they shrink. In one of the episodes of Transformers, Megatron flies up to Optimus Prime. Our Optimus Prime. Who's laid out frozen in the chair. He blows Optimus Prime head clean the hell off, altering time for a second. But the Autobots save Prime and put him inside the other Prime, who transforms into a big beast, where Megatron kidnapped Megatron's back and became from the dinosaur to a dragon. I'm not sure what I was watching, but I knew what I saw because when Optimus said the Optimus Prime saved Optimus because they're not the same robots. The Beast Wars, the beasts literally shrank to now like micro machines, where the original Autobots were fucking giants, and you see that in Transformers Beast War when Megatron, the Decepticon, or what they have, Maximals and Terracons. Megatron the Terracon takes the spark of Megatron the Maximal. God damn it, Megatron the Decepticon, and she does some shit. Ravage from G1, who somehow survived everything and dies on the old ship the Decepticons came because he rose the ship. He no longer transformed into a cassette. He was just always like in robot mode. Which is funny because in that episode, how come the radiation never fucked with Ravage? But all the other Autobots, all the Maximals and Terracons had to stay in beast mode all the damn time. Or they had like 3 minutes. And like, unless they were in the charging chambers, they stayed in beast mode. And even Dinosaur, or Dinobot, ate. Like, literally ate. In beast mode. Because I believe he ate his clone. Not gonna swear to it. As I said, my memory is a little vague. Now, Airazor and Tiger, something or another, fused together, and then they're wiped out by some alien life form. Which in the 3 seasons of Beast Wars, they never explain what the fuck's going on. You get some guess, and you gotta interpret it the best way you can. Because remember the Autobots work with the, I gotta stop calling that. The Maximals and the Terracons work together. And Megatron pulled what the hell is his name? He put the Megabyte and screwed Optimus Primal the same way that Megabyte screwed Bob. And Optimus Primal supposedly died, but got a new body and came back. You see where we're going here? You see why I need some answers? But anyway, Optimus saves Optimus, and he gets back, and all the stuff goes down. But he never explained where the hell Optimus went. Even Optimus doesn't explain where he went. But they come back, they save the original Autobots and Decepticons, who have been unalived or dead or deactivated for 400 million years. Which will be the last question, but I'll ask it before I forget. Just how old are the fucking Autobots and Decepticons? And how long has Cybertron been going at it? How long have the Cybertronians been fighting? If you look, you see episode 1. 400 million years later or 4 million years later. Hold on. We'll figure this shit out. Alright, this should do it. When the Autobots crashed to Earth in Generation 1, how many years was it before they woke up?
According to RoboWiki fandom, all Transformers aboard were critically damaged in the crash and went into stasis lock and would not awaken until millions of years later. In the year 1984, 4 million years after the crash, the volcano would erupt and reactivate TLETRAAN-1, the ARC's main computer.
I guess even AI has a problem saying Teletran 1. So, 4 million years later. That's what that thing said, 400 years or 400 million years later. Let me see. Let's try asking it again. In Generation 1, how many years were the Motherfucker! In Generation 1, how many years were the Autobots sleeping before they woke up? It won't talk this time. This is after 5 million years, but that's not right. In Transformers Generation 1, how many years was the Autobots asleep after the crash before they woke up?
According to RoboWiki fandom, all Transformers aboard were critically damaged in the crash and went into stasis lock and would not awaken until millions of years later.
I was going to read the same, but I guess all Transformers were critically injured and damaged and went into stasis lock and wouldn't wake up until millions of years later. The year is 1984. 4 million years after the crash, the volcano erupted and activated Teletran 1, the ARC's main computer. Okay. We got the gist of the shit. So how fucking old are the damn Cybertronians? And I mean before IDW retconned everything. Because 40 million years are a lot of time. Which goes back to Beast Wars. And they unalived or shot Optimus Prime in the head. And I believe Megatron, what are they? The Terracons took Optimus Spark first, and then Optimus Primal got the spark back and kept it safe within inside himself, and then he transformed, and that's when Tiger started calling him Big Bot. Well, I meant to say Cheetor. Plus, all of the other bodies that they jettisoned in space were probably meant to be Autobots, but wound up being Decepticons. How the fuck does that work? I mean, they explained it, but I just don't fucking remember it. But you get the gist. what I was trying to say. I need to stop my alarm. Finally, we're gonna go on in this video after we talk about beast machines. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it in the beast machines, Optimus Primal and Megatron, the Terracon, they don't make it. Damn. Out of tea. But not out of Gatorade. Which is thirsty. But I deep down body thirst. Gatorade. You should hire me. Okay. I have to work on my foul mouth though. Okay. So, at the end of Beast Wars, they tie Megatron to the top of a ship. And they leave. And this is where shit gets complicated. Alright? Rhinox is on the ship. Everybody's on the ship except for Waspinator, who gets somehow magically transported off of the millions and millions of years planet. I think Waspinator might have been the reincarnated soul of Starscream. I'll find that out at another time. But either way, Waspinator does make it back to Cybertron, which he does explain. I just can't remember how he explained it. Then, Silverbolt, Black Arachnia, Cheetor, Rat Trap, they're all on the ship. Rhinox and Prime are also on the ship. Megatron escapes inside of warp space, which usually in most science fiction stuff, if you are on the outside of a ship, I guess that just proves the Autobots and Decepticons don't need air, but can still breathe. So he escapes in space. Somehow he falls into space, in warp space, and beats them to Cybertron. So they never really explained how long he was there before they landed, because it was like maybe 4 seconds for us, but apparently he fell back to Cybertron months before they got there. Maybe they don't really explain how long he was there, and if they did, someone help me out, because I don't remember them explaining how long Megatron was there. And then another question is, how does he have Optimus's body when Optimus had that body and he got transformed back into a gorilla before he met Oracle when they had to escape from the drones? Other question involving the drones. How the fuck did Megatron get a hold of Rhinox? Because Rhinox was on the ship. Now, we got to make sure we are clarified about that. Rhinox, Silverbolt, Black Arachnia, Rat Trap, Optimus, Cheetor. They were all on the ship. Megatron got hold of Silverbolt when they got turned back and he didn't escape. Waspinator was the motorcycle drum, and Rhinox was the tank. So how the hell did he get a hold of Rhinox? Because both Rhinox and Silverbolt were on the ship. And somehow they just like magically started running. Because Black Arachnia was running, all of them running, and then they all de-evolved. Then they met the Oracle, and she evolved them back into something better. Even though honestly, they look better in Beast Wars than they did in Beast Machine. That's just my personal opinion. They looked way better in Beast Wars. In Beast Machines, it was like the guy who, no disrespect, the guy who drew them might have been drunk that day. He literally, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but they looked horrible. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry to the guy that's drawing them. I do have an opinion. I did watch the show. Yeah. Then there was the guy that was like Banshee who screamed, and at one time Megatron became a wolf. I don't know how any of that shit happened. And I don't remember missing any episodes, but I don't remember any of the episodes explaining what the fuck happened. But the most important question is how the hell did Megatron get a hold of Rhinox? Because they never show it. But Rhinox does become Tankor and reveals himself to be a drone to Optimus. And I forgot the conversation, but somehow or another, Rhinox becomes a drone. Eventually, they do unalive the fuck out of Rhinox because it's unnecessary, leaving Silverbolt, the jet, and Waspinator, the motorcycle. Which again, Waspinator does explain how he got there, but it doesn't make logical sense how he got there. But he does. It did take a long time, but he finally got home. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this whole goddamn show because I don't know what the fuck happened. And I mean, I'm gonna have to start watching Beast Wars first, from the first episode, all 3 seasons, and then Beast Machines. I think it only had like 2 seasons, if it had 2 seasons. But somebody who's a Transformer fan, please make a video, hashtag Kung Fu Havoc #2 in it, and make it long enough so I can watch it. You don't have to do any visuals or something, but just sit there and explain to me, 1, how do Transformers grow and shrink? Because I'm pretty sure that got retconned from Marvel and it's an IDW thing now, because remember, in Beast Wars, the Maximals were small enough to sit in the hands of the Autobots and the Decepticons, unless I need glasses. 2, how did Megatron get Optimus's body? 3, how did Megatron get Rhinox? 4, how did Megatron beat them to Cybertron when he fell off into warp space? You know, that shit I need answers. And I know at 50, you're probably thinking, why does a 50-year-old need the answers about Beast Machines and Beast Wars? I like Transformers. I like G.I. Joe more, and G.I. Joe Renegade should have lasted longer than G.I. Joe Sigma 6. But, you know, it is what it is. But at that same time, I couldn't understand what the hell was happening from episode 1 of Beast Wars. I didn't figure out that these guys had shrunk down to basically the size of humans. Because when you see Megatron blow off Optimus' head, he's big enough to sit in Optimus' hand, which makes no sense. When the Transformers wake up from the dead, or stasis lock, they're huge. Spike barely comes to Optimus' knee, and so does his daddy. But they're like the same size as Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. Well, Cliffjumper and Bumblebee are a tiny bit bigger. Same thing with Brawn and all the other ones. But at that same time, why the Maximals and the Terracons so goddamn small? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc #2. Somebody who knows Transformers inside and out. And I know, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get a lot of anger and a lot of heat for it. I'm more Marvel than IDW. In fact, we'll make an extra video about that right now. Thanks for watching.